Let's now head to Burkina Faso, where the military leader, Ibrahim Traoré, says he plans a partial change to the West African country's constitution almost a year after he seized power in a coup. And speaking on the state TV on Friday, the military leader also says elections in Burkina Faso are not priority compared to security.
On parle de réforme politique au Burkina Faso, nouvelle constitution, entre autres, référendum. Est-ce que vous y pensez actuellement?
Les textes actuels ne nous permettent pas de pouvoir évoluer sereinement. Parce qu'il y a
Qu'est-ce que vous reprochez à cette constitution actuellement?
De toute façon, ce que je vous dis dans les jours à venir, la modification partielle, vous allez voir ce que ça concerne. Et on va toucher à un volet.
Pour le moment.
Ce n'est pas une priorité, ça je vous le dis clairement. C'est la sécurité qui est la priorité.
And now to East Africa, where police and witnesses say 5 people died and 6 others were wounded on Friday when a suicide bomber blew himself up in a restaurant near the presidential palace in central Somalia. Somali police spokesperson Sadiq Doshisha says the attacker detonated a device inside a tea shop in Barblush, the capital Mogadishu. The cafe is frequented by members of the Somali security forces as well as civilians. There was no immediate claim of responsibility for the attack. And Friday's attack came barely a day after 5 civilians were killed and 30 others wounded in a car bombing near a market in central Somalia. And staying in East Africa, recent development in Tanzania's legal system have brought to light both progress and persistent challenges. Tanzania's criminal justice system has long grappled with a significant case backlog, leading to delays in delivering justice. In response, the government has initiated reforms including an increase in the number of judges and magistrates, improved infrastructure and alternative dispute resolution methods. However, concerns about the independence of the judiciary and the need for greater transparency persist. As Tanzania continues its journey towards a more effective criminal justice system, the spotlight remains on the ongoing efforts to provide equitable and timely justice to all citizens. Now, joining me live to talk about these is Emmanuel Ukashu. He is an advocate of the High Court of Tanzania. Mr. Emmanuel, are you there? Can you hear me? Okay, I believe if you can hear me, can you kindly unmute yourself so we can have a conversation?
Sure. I can hear you.
Okay, fantastic. All right. Now let's talk about these happening. Can you provide an overview of the structure of the criminal justice system in Tanzania, including its key components and how they work together?
Okay. Thank you. First and foremost, in Tanzania, we have now started a journey to make a criminal transformation in the system of justice because it was one of the systems that has been lagged behind since in the prior regime of the late Magufuli. And in Tanzania, our system of justice is beginning to the police, whereby our police machinery are the ones who arrest and they make investigation. After that, you go to the DPP, or Director of Public Prosecution, who is enabling to prosecute the particular charges on behalf of the Republic. And later on, it is about the bail system, which is about the court and condition. In prior, the system of that, we have now made a lot of amendments in Tanzania. We created economic and crime division. That was the prior thing that was being emanated and enacted. And not only that, it was weaponized to the extent that our criminal justice was all being squattered or zero in to the issues of Economic and Organized Crime Act, anti-money laundering. So it was very well weaponized in a political way. But now, in the regime of Our Excellency Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan, she has reformed the criminal justice to be one of the better place, one of the fair moment. She also created a commission to look and make an overview of the criminal justice system in our Tanzania, which has already submitted the report to the president. What is going on now, it's about the way forward of how to implement the proper recommendation of the commission, which it took like 6 months, and it has recommended a lot of issues. One is to amend the registrations, is to make bailable offenses. We create our own enactment of one bail act. It's also to create the proper sanctions of the police powers, to eradicate the police from forced to be services, the modality of arrest, the issues of eradicating or separating the system of intelligence and the civilians, and the other way machinery to not interact the criminal justice because it was weaponized to be victimizing a lot of people in the country. So as for now, we have begun a journey. We hope to get somewhere else, but as for now, there's a good fair way, and there is a lot of development. Compare also the adjudicators who are judges. Our Excellency Samir Suluhu Hassan has appointed a lot of judges in the history of this country. Also, there's a lot of judicial officers in the level magistrate, and there's a lot is going on to be done. Maybe we hope in the 1 year to come, something else will come out of fair.
All right, Mr. Ukashu, could you share with us some of the significant challenges, the issues the Tanzanian criminal justice system, for instance, has faced in recent years, and how authorities and also stakeholders has been addressing these issues?
Okay. The first challenge is about the arrest. It has been a very serious issue of arrest in our country because in the prior 5 years of the regime of the late Magufuli, a lot of police officers was arresting people without even proper instructions, proper knowledge, proper confinements. It was a hijacking process. There's a lot of issues were done in that manner of the umbrella of police. But also there's issues of creating or enacting duplicity offenses. What do I say about duplicity offenses? You can find one offense in more than one criminal statute or one criminal law. You can find a particular offense is under cybercrime. The same goes to Economic and Organized Crime Act. The same goes to money laundering, which means a police officer negotiates in a modality of how to charge you. If he charges you in the lesser legislation, that means you get bail. But if he takes you to the higher, like when you go to Economic and Organized Crime Act and the Anti-Money Laundering Act, then technically you won't have a bail. So you arrest by the time you just be at the jail. Another thing was that people are being arrested without making a completion of investigation. So all the time you are being arrested, you are taken to the cell or to the prison, you stay there, the remandee, you come to report after every 14 days just to watch brief and say, okay, investigation is not ready, so you just go again there. So you can stay even for more than years while you're just being forced somewhere in the prison as a remandee. But also it went further that a lot of bail's condition in the court was very high to the extent that nobody else can meet the particular need of the bail condition because you can find just an indigenous person told to deposit half of the bond, whereby a person cannot get that money. Even if you stay all your lifetime, you cannot get that money. But also it went further, the issues of how the knowledge of the operation officers were conducting. A lot of people were being stocked out of cases, getting bulk of cases, getting just because of this, you are just being weaponized. So that created a lot of fear, and a lot of people feared about the criminal system in our country. Also, it went further about the plea bargaining. Plea bargaining, it was used to weaponize. If I know your money is in your account, what I do, I just put you charges of money laundering. So at the end of the day, your torture will be suffered, you will plead that you are guilty, and you will take your money from the account. But the reason now, what we have been done, since Excellency Dr. Samir Suluhu Hassan get into power in 2021, she enacted the amendment in the Criminal Procedure Act on that significant challenge that no one will be arrested without investigation to be completed.
Okay.
Now it has helped a lot of people to not be arrested randomly until the investigation is complete. So also it has reduced the backlog of a lot of people in inmates in the prisons too. So these are a lot of things that were emanated in our criminal justice as we are now making some reforms.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Emmanuel Ukashu, the senior advocate of the High Court of Tanzania. Thank you for your insight.
Thank you so much.